I wear big pants because I fucka like a Tonka trucka.
These are my literal last recorded words. You're listening to Bug and Moss in the morning.
Whoa! From the skittering studios underneath your favorite rock, it is 7:02 on the clock on the Bug and Moss morning telephone show. I am Moss.
I'm Bug.
What's good, Bug?
Nothing much. I feel weirdly like we've heard Jordan's last words before.
I have too. You know, for having like 250 different fucking Jordan cuts on a button that fires them randomly at the beginning of every show, we sure do get a lot of duplicates.
It's not even true randomness, is it? You already had to deal with that.
No, it is true randomness.
Oh, so that's why.
The thing about true randomness is that it doesn't sound random because, like, you very likely could get, I don't know, if you're thinking of flipping a coin, if you truly randomly flipped a coin, you'll get stretches where you get heads a bunch of times in a row and you're like, it doesn't feel right. And, you know, they dealt with that issue when they were making Shuffle for iTunes back in the day, where they were like, okay, we got to add some rules, like if it don't play like the same artist twice in a row or songs off the same album or yada yada, to make it feel more random. And I'll probably have to start doing that. Maybe I'll make up some kind of like ping pong system where it like takes the total, splits it in half, and then it has to alternate between something in the first half and the second half each time, and maybe like make it fracture that up even more or something. I don't know. There's probably algorithms people have come up with for that.
Yeah. That sounds cool to me. I don't know how you implement any of that.
Colin says just roll a 254-sided die 20 times.
That's also an option. Computers do that. A lot of them, you don't know this, they have a little 20-sided die in there.
That's the crazy thing. A lot of people don't know that, Bug. And if you remember, computers have gotten better at being quieter now, but old computers used to make that kind of rattling sound.
Yeah.
These things are full of dice. It's just a lot of dice in there.
And you guys remember that computer that Apple released it was the Yahtzee model?
Oh, yeah, the Apple
Freaking
Yachts.
nightmare. That thing was crazy.
Yeah. That thing was awesome, though. Really
I mean,
big.
it's cool.
It got really hot, though.
Yeah.
Emily says, so that's why when I shake my computer, it rattles. Yeah.
Yes. That is why.
Exactly. That's also why they generate so much heat. All those dice bouncing around in there.
I'm imagining you picking up an entire computer tower and just like rage shaking it above your head.
I want to make a whole band that is using the computers as instruments like that.
Oh, heck yeah. Well, Emily and I have talked about doing a band.
Colin says same sound happens when I shake my ass.
Hell yeah.
Oh, good morning. Good morning, everyone hanging out with us. Good morning, folks over on the podcast. Good morning to the sun outside sitting behind all of the clouds. It's another gray, rainy day here in Kentucky, which I'm very happy about.
Mm-hmm. We love it.
I'm loving the rainy day. Hey, so on the show today for us, Bug, I've got a couple things to talk about. We're going to talk about, we've got something I read about while pooping that's a little bit more sinister. I found a mysterious location that's been known about for a while, but it just crossed my awareness. I want to share that with you. And then we also I've got something fun to share. I don't necessarily know if it slots into a segment neatly, but I found something cool that I think our audio production friends in particular will enjoy.
Ooh, well, that sounds great. I have a couple updates on stuff I've been working on. I also have a bug advice, should we get to it. Always soliciting new topics for bug advice. This one I actually took from the chat yesterday. I saw you. And also we have something to talk about regarding wishes.
Oh, yeah, we have a discussion about wishes that we're going to get into today. I forgot we talked about this last night. I want to open with something a little bit different, though.
Okay.
Bug and Moss aren't sure if this is really anything, so hey, is this anything?
This has been sitting in my notes for a while, and I've been meaning to address it. Bug, what if I could shit out extension cord?
Okay.
This is something I've been thinking about.
Yeah, I can see that.
You know, like an extension cord, right? Yeah, like your standard thing that lets you plug something in from far away. Mm-hmm. I think, like a Play-Doh extruder, it would be awesome if I had the ability to produce that at any time. Like if this happened because I was thinking about superpowers, and we were talking about like crappy superpowers. I think this would be a great superpower.
Okay, so I have a couple questions right out of the gate. Does it have plugs?
No.
Okay.
See, that's important because I thought about that. Passing those would be a problem.
Yeah.
Certainly. And then like deciding the length, I don't know how I would do that kind of biomechanically. So no, I would have to procure some plugs and keep a box of those around.
I mean, yeah, but you can do that. You
Yeah.
already have all that kind of junk anyway.
Yeah, just spend a little bit of time, shit out a bunch of extension cord, and just real quick, strip the ends, plug a cord on there, and boom, you're good.
I'm imagining you like running cable in a new build or setting up a business, and you're just like a spider in the corner shitting out your web extension cord.
Well, so I thought about that too. And I don't know if that's how I would do. I don't think it would be respectful to do it on the job site.
Oh, okay.
I would think this would be the kind of thing that I would have to prepare in advance.
Okay.
Because I was also thinking, I forget who I was talking to about this, but I was like, wouldn't that be great and useful? And they're like, I mean, yeah, if I needed an extension cord out of nowhere at the last second. And I had to be like, I don't think I could do that for you.
Okay,
Because I don't think I could. If I asked you to just shit right now,
Yeah.
do you think you could do it in front of me?
I mean, it would be hard. I think it
Yeah.
would be easier for me than it would be for you.
It would be very hard for me. So I would definitely prepare it in advance.
Okay, so a couple more questions. Is this the way that your body is getting rid of its waste? Is it transforming the waste into the cord?
That's sort of the bit I'm not sure of. I'd like that to be the case. Otherwise, it has to come from somewhere.
Well, and also otherwise, you're also pooping from there.
Yeah, I would also be pooping from there, I think.
Okay, so
Because I need to be able to check up on my health. Unless, would it be like checking the outside color of the extension cord to see how your
because
health
otherwise
is doing?
your beehole is like coated in poop particles, and that's where the cord comes from.
My beehole's very clean.
Okay, but your
Thank you.
colon is your colon, and that's where the cord's coiled up.
So that's true. The colon's not just like a simple tube full of shit, though. There's a lot going on in there.
Sure.
If you stay out, if it could come down a separate route and just sort of merge at I think it's called the sigmoid colon, the last bit that descends.
Okay.
So it could come out pretty clean, I think.
I think I feel alarmed by how clean you think it's going to be.
I think it's going to be super clean.
I don't like that. I think that the fact that you are shitting it out of your beehole, you poop from
So
there.
beehole works both ways, right? It's a sphincter.
What?
You know what I mean? So a beehole works both ways in the sense that it's like a sphincter. If I have a tube, let's say I want you to picture that I have a piece of yarn.
Okay.
And I've soaked it in mushed up bananas.
Okay.
And then I have a tight little hole and I'm going to draw the yarn through the hole. The banana's going to get stuck on the other side and gunked up and the yarn will come out cleaner on the other side. Like, think about that, right? So if there's a bunch of poopy nasty inside of my body and the fucking electrical cord is coming out, it'll get squeegeed off and be pretty
You know
clean.
that you have to disinfect things that come into contact with human waste. You understand that you can't just wipe bacteria off, right?
Yeah.
So what's your plan for sanitizing the cord?
I'd probably wipe it off before I gave it to someone.
You will probably wipe it off before you give it to someone?
Yeah, I probably will.
I don't want any of it. I don't want you can't be trusted. I'm not a prude. I don't have a problem with beehole cord. That's fine. Like, I'm not a millionaire. I don't have extension cord money. I would love to be able to accept a beehole extension cord gift, but if you're only probably going to clean off the poop, I'm not good with that.
It's going to be fine. It'd be perfect and clean and shiny and nice and new.
No, because you think it's going to come out of your butt like that.
I think it will come out. If it's a superpower, if I can do it, I think I can have it clean.
So, but I don't understand. This is going to get into why the whole wishes conversation. Why wouldn't you just establish as part of this that it was clean? Instead, you're conceding that it might not be entirely clean and that you might or might not clean it.
I was trying to assure you that it would likely be primarily mostly clean, if even without
Not good
any
enough.
of that.
This isn't good
Okay.
enough.
I'm sorry. I didn't realize you fucking put your extension cords in your mouth and you'd be bothered if they were a little gross.
I've seen you put a cord in your mouth.
I do. Colin says, so are you powering yourself or are you saying the full cord comes out end to end? We covered that. It's just the cord and there's no ends. Colin says, let me check the stock in the back. Goes in the back and shits out a new one. And Squared suggested sneaking in and doing it in the night. Jordan asked, Moss, do your extension cords smell like shit or are they neutral? They contain a neutral and they smell nice.
Why? Why did they smell nice?
Because of compounds in the rubber on the outside.
Okay.
Natural compounds.
Okay.
They have sort of a musk.
Okay.
A sort of like...
Kind of like how deer piss smells nice to deer.
Presumably, but I don't know that. Because it smells pretty bad to me. But no, it'll be like a nice sort of musky, warm, cozy smell.
I I think if we consulted a doctor, my only problem with this is that you do not seem to be at all concerned with the fact you've heard of the fecal oral route, right? Like you understand that you can get sick from human shit.
Yeah, dude, life is a highway. I've heard of the fecal oral.
Okay. Your butt is a highway.
I made myself laugh.
And the extension cord will be fucking riding on through it all night long. And then when it comes out of the hole that you've admitted also you poop from.
Yeah, to monitor my health.
So I've been trying to meet you here. I'm trying to play in the space with you.
Yeah.
You're sounding like a gross boy.
I don't think it would be gross because it would be natural because it would be a thing my body can do.
Your thing can take a shit, and that doesn't mean you should pick it up and play with it.
That's not what's happening, Bug. It's an extension cord. I think of all of us being here, I think you're the one who's being unreasonable.
I think it's pretty wild that you are being so intentionally obtuse about this.
I'm not being intentionally obtuse. I'm being extremely optimistic about what would be a natural function of my beautiful human body.
You sound like a crazy alternative medicine person who's like, it's natural.
Those people hate extension cords.
My body makes it.
Yeah,
no, they'll
not
probably buy
chemicals.
your butt cords. You'll be like, unpasteurized raw ass cord.
Well, a message has just come in to be pinned in chat from Jordan. Jordan says, no plug equals just cord equals what point? Why is no one listening? You put the plug on the end yourself.
Yeah.
You put the plug on the end. It's super useful. It's super clean. It's super natural and normal and cool, and everyone likes it.
Yeah, I mean, I got to be honest, Jordan, that was covered. Like,
that one was
he's going to
covered.
put the ends on.
Alex says, could you determine how long it is, or do you have to commit to whatever length it is? To which I would ask you, when was the last time you went to the bathroom? It would be pretty much exactly like that.
So it'd be about like 4 inches long?
Well, I don't know. Well, no, because it would be more structure. It would have more structural integrity. You know what I mean?
Okay, so you are saying the volume is the same?
It would be 4 inches like at a time per push. I don't want to get too graphic.
Okay, so this is what Alex just asked. Is like, can you somehow kind of intentionally decide the length based on your effort? And is the cord at all made of waste? Do you need to have a higher caloric intake if you need more cord?
The cord is not made of waste. The extension cord comes out of my butt perfectly clean. It's perfectly clean. It is made of copper and rubber and probably a couple of pieces of paper in between the wires.
So
like
it's
around
made
the
with
ground.
magic.
It's not made with, it's made with my body.
Okay. No. So everything that you make with your body, you have to put material in.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Did I have to eat bones to grow bones, Bug?
No, but you had to eat food.
Yeah.
You had to have nutrients. So what makes the cord?
The nutrients. I don't understand the problem.
Okay.
The
So you do eat food to make the cord.
No shit, I eat food. I'm always eating food.
Okay, no.
So are you.
No. This is some kind of bad faith argument. I asked you if you wanted to make more cord, would you need to have like a higher caloric intake? Would you need to change your diet? Would you need to eat differently? And then you just said, my body makes it, which isn't an answer.
It is. No, I would not need to eat differently. Yes, I would still eat food. I would continue my life the same way I do now.
What makes the cord?
The food and things I eat.
Okay. So if you need to make more cord, it would stand to reason that you need to eat more food.
Oh, how about maybe that depends. It would be the exact, I don't understand this. It would be the exact same as if you needed to shit more. And so you would eat more food if you needed to shit more. I wouldn't always be needing to make extension cord.
I didn't insinuate that you would. I posed a hypothetical to better understand this biological imperative of yours. And I asked you if you needed to shit more cord, would you need to eat more food?
Yeah, I guess. But it wouldn't be like different, you know?
I don't understand what you're talking about with different. I don't know why you're even bringing that up.
Jordan says superpower equals sure. We can suspend disbelief and they'll be super clean and not smell like the inside of your butt.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you, Jordan.
Yeah, but you didn't I asked that to see if we were doing a thing like that. And then you said, well, I do still poop from there. Yes, poop will still be around that area. And like, you didn't help me at all. Like at all.
Well, yeah. Well, I would eat food and the food would either turn into poop or cord based on what I need.
Okay.
I think this is a good idea.
Okay. So the cord is made from waste.
The cord is made from naturally occurring compounds.
Like how poop is made from naturally occurring compounds, aka waste, your body can't process.
Yeah. Except my body can process this stuff because it processes it into an extension cord.
Okay, well, I think French Alexander has said it in one. Mason, I think you pooped yourself into a corner.
I think I may have pooped myself into a corner. Alex also said if you were having a bad tummy day, would it be a bunch of tiny cables? And that's kind of what it feels like.
Yeah.
It is... Well, actually, one more comment. Jordan said, Moss is going to lose his mind when he realizes that you don't need to eat organs as a baby in order to grow organs. And then Jordan also said, this entire discussion feels like we're a regular normal post on Reddit and Moss is that person.
That is true.
Well, I think it's a good idea. And Squared says, am I the asshole? I offered to shit extension cords and everyone booed?
People are mad at me because I said I'll not worry too much about disinfecting them. I feel like that's not my job.
Whatever. 646. I'm broken. I'm just saying numbers. 718 on the Bug and Moss Morning Telephone Show. Let's go ahead and move over and look at the telephone.
Okay.
It's 848 Moss Bug. That's the number to call. That's the number to text. You send us something, it'll end up on the show. Jordan, 12345 is the number to call. N Squared says I almost said N Squared's phone number, which I don't know. It would have been fucking wild if I look you in the eyes right now and just say your phone number and home address.
Yeah, that would be pretty
amazing.
wild.
Yeah. 848 Moss Bug is the number to call. This is from a caller from the 908. Oh, somehow I accidentally muted every single tab in my browser yesterday, but they're all individually muted, and so I have to unmute them every time I play sound. I pranked myself. I have no idea how I've done this. I couldn't do this if I tried to.
It could have actually been me.
How?
Because I was on your computer yesterday.
Did you prank me?
No, not on purpose, but I hit a key at one point and all the tabs went invisible, and I had to close Vivaldi and reopen it.
I have like 4,000 tabs open. They're all going to be muted. Oh, well, I think you probably did me a favor because I actually need to close most of them. All right. 848 Moss Bug is the number to call. This is from a caller from the 908. Do you know what state that is, Bug? Take one guess. 3, 2.
Florida.
Hi, Bug and Moss. It's your friend Az. And the other day, I was talking to Moss about something. Don't remember what at this point. But I mentioned that I could leave a voicemail about my very haunted house. I live in a house that's definitely haunted because the previous owners of this home owned the funeral home in my hometown. And we like to say that they brought work home with them.
Yeah.
So we get a lot of interesting activity around. We get lights turning on or off on their own. We get cabinets opening up and stuff. You know, we hear a lot of bumps in the night. You know, a lot of creaking and things of the sort. And on occasion, my parents and my sister, who all share this home, see shadows out of the corner of our eyes. You know,
fun.
shadows shaped like people moving through the home. There has never been anything malevolent, I will say. It kind of seems like I just have some chill ass ghosts living in my house. And also, Jordan Reed, if you are listening right now, this may sound familiar to you, and yes, I am going to bring up the fact that this is almost the exact same voicemail I left on Spooky Spouses ages ago, and their advice for me to hang out with these ghosts is to, first of all, set up a Nintendo Wii with Wii Sports, I believe, was one of the things that they gave me, but the big advice was that I should DJ some ghost raves and play all kinds of different music from all different generations. So I'm just wondering if you guys have any extra advice on how I can connect with my my many ghosts in my home from unbeknownst to time periods to me. I'll take any and all suggestions. They like the music for what it's worth. All right, bye.
Hell yeah.
Ooh.
Thanks for calling in, Az. 3 things right off the bat. Number 1, Jordan is here and in chat, and Az and Jordan are now talking, and I wanted that just in posterity in the podcast. 2, I'm obsessed with the idea of a ghost rave right off the bat.
Yeah, I like that.
What a cool idea, because I feel like, when you, I've DJ'd a few things. I've DJ'd a wedding, and there's different crowds that you try and get out on the dance floor. And when you're planning your DJ set, you think about that. You think about like, what time of the night is it going to be? Like, and getting the songs for the older folks ahead of time before you devolve into just like party bumping stuff, whatever's hot for the last end of it, for the young people staying up out on the floor. So thinking about a ghost rave, you kind of be like curating a DJ set for different time periods. Like, I don't know, you start with some fucking swinger flapper music or whatever, and like work your way up until you're like doing 80s club bangers. And then I just imagined you'd, get to talk to different kinds of ghosts at different levels of that.
I think the real way to do it is that you are constantly mixing back and forth through genres. And then my big question, because you don't ever want
get the ghosts to mingle.
Well, yeah, you don't want anybody to be bored. Also, you don't want them to be like, my era's over. But my number one question is, do you have any wax cylinders and which ones? Because I think bringing those into the set's going to be pretty important.
So the thing that is interesting about what you just said is this might even spawn an entirely separate thread of conversation.
Okay.
A wax cylinder could be haunted, right? Like, a wax cylinder very likely, I feel like, and I don't know, there's no truth to this maybe, but I feel like different materials are different amounts of hauntable. And wax is up there with like one of the most hauntable materials. I feel like wax, paraffin wax or paraffin wax or Parappa the Rapper wax, whatever it is extremely permeable to the spirit.
I have a feeling that there's something about the ease with which a material can go from like different states of matter, right? Because I feel like ghosts would fuck with that. Like I was alive and then I was solid. And then sometimes I can be a vapor. And then like sometimes I can be a liquid filling the size of my container. So I think like wax and water would be big. Yeah.
And so my thought was, specifically music, we don't have any, music is no longer hauntable. Because like, I think we had wax cylinders, extremely hauntable. You could have haunted music in those easily.
Yeah.
And then records, obviously vinyl's hauntable for sure. CDs feel a little bit harder to haunt.
Okay.
And then I feel like as we've moved to digital, at a certain point, I don't think you can haunt a file anywhere near as effectively. You could maybe haunt a whole computer.
So I have a theory about this.
Colin says AI music exists now. That's haunted in its own.
True.
In a way, that is kind of, man. Wow.
I mean, do you feel like the ghosts feel like the AI is replacing them?
Do I think ghosts are... No, but I do think we lost our window of time in which we could plausibly have captured really good ghost evidence. Like anything between the invention of cameras and 2022, that was our window to capture ghost footage, and now we can't.
I get what you're saying, but when people say stuff like that, I feel like what they're saying is we lost our window for me to be reasonably tricked by something that we all know isn't real. Like, it's like people say that about aliens and stuff too. It's like, first of all, I think aliens are real. But if aliens are actually real, there's going to be enough proof that we're able to be sure it's not AI. Like if aliens come to Earth, it's not like it's just hiding in plain sight and we haven't figured it out yet.
No, but you know what I mean? Like of finding a video and sharing that online.
And I enjoy the sort of urban, like legend nature of that. But I do think it's funny when people say that because I'm like, that's just sort of a way of saying that like there isn't proof for something.
Well, it'll just be harder and have to be more reputable. There's a comment in chat that I wanted to hit on, which is Coyote Astronaut said, Ghost Rave, the portmanteau is already grave. Hell yeah.
So good.
Love that. N Squared is DJing for the first time this weekend, presumably not for ghosts. Hell yeah. Good luck with the gig.
I mean, you can't keep them out. That's discrimination. So they're allowed to be there.
The ghosts are allowed to be there, but you always want like some real people on the dance floor.
Real people?
Some living people. You want the dance floor to have a pulse,
Wow. There's some really, I didn't know this about you. There's some really negative, like anti-ghost language.
Bug what? You're mad because I'm pro-life? But That sucks. I'm so sorry. Nobody clip that. I'll kill you.
I'm clipping it.
You're
You're pro-life and you're going to murder anybody if they clip it?
Absolutely. I will shut him.
You're at least fitting the brand.
Yep, 100%. Jordan says start with bone flute music from approximately 45,000 years ago and end with dead mouse.
Yeah, I think that's right.
What was Az's original question?
How to hang out with the ghosts. And I have some ideas for this.
I think the Wii Sports one is awesome because originally a lot of ghost hunters use those Kinects, right? The Xbox Kinect, which like has 3D depth tracking. I think it's Is it LiDAR? If you know and you're in the chat, let me know. Is it LiDAR? Those were like popular in ghost hunting communities because like they could detect sort of patterns and depth and things like that. And people picked up all sorts of crazy, spooky stuff with that. However, I don't think a Wii works the same way, but it has the same energy. So I think the suggestion of a Wii is extremely funny.
So I have a theory about this, but I'm going to expose myself as someone who's not very good at math, years, or numbers. So I just Googled the most recently dead generation.
Okay, that's a crazy thing to Google.
But Reddit helped me out. Extinction of each generation. Because my thought is...
That's fucking grim.
Well, it's whatever. We all die. Grow up. You know what? Listen, Cosmo, you're going to die. Live your life. Enjoy it. My thought is what you want to do. Listen, I'm a marketing guy. I'm a branding guy. I'm all about G to G. Let's make it happen.
Grave to grave?
Ghost to ghost.
Okay. From cradle to grave.
From cradle to grave. But you're kind of on the right track because who are your tastemakers? It's the recently dead.
The recently deceased.
You want to see who is the largest population of recently dead, because these are going to be your people who have a bit of a zest for life. Maybe they have something to prove. Maybe they have unfinished business. What music is going to be appealing to those?
That's a great point, Bug, especially given that Az said that her house was owned by funeral home directors.
Yeah.
So, like, talk about recent things, like recent business, the recently deceased. N Squared says, great band name. Talking about the recently deceased, that does feel like a really good band
I think
name.
it's the greatest generation.
Oh.
That would be the generation.
The most recently deceased, extinct generation.
There's the most of them.
Wouldn't that be endangered? Which feels like a weird word to apply.
The endangered ones would be the silent generation.
Oh,
there's
that's my
they're
grandpa.
still kicking around, but yeah.
Yeah.
But the greatest generation is probably pretty largely dead. There's obviously crossover, but we're talking about people born from 1901 to 1927. So people who are like 100 something now, if they're still around. So when we're talking about music. When we're talking about era, we're talking about, Oh,
are you trying to look up the top songs from that generation?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out, if you're, let's see, what music does the greatest generation fuck with?
That's a great question. I'm going to go ahead and take a shot in the dark, just thinking a little bit about if I had to guess what that age was. I'm thinking, crooner era was big. Bing Crosby and, Crosby, Stills, and Nash.
Yeah, so this is gonna be a vibe. You're right. We're talking about big band and swing. We're talking about crooners and vocalists. So
hell yeah.
Oh man, this is so Tower of Terror, which is one of the best movies ever made. Watch it if you can. You can't. It's not on streaming. Disney Plus does not have it. You can buy a VHS from Amazon. The Tower of Terror is a great film about a haunted hotel. As a person who is afraid of ghosts and generally anything scary, huge fan. I believe it's a young Kirsten Dunst. And I want to say
from Twilight?
Robert Carradine, but I'm not sure. No.
Oh.
But so close. Do you want to try again?
Kirsten Dunst from A Beautiful Mind or A Sunshine Spotless Mind? No,
you're really so weirdly in the right place.
I thought I was right.
You were thinking of Kristen Stewart.
Kristen Stewart. Not Kristen Wiig.
No, not Kristen Wiig.
Oh.
This is my favorite game. Here's a special bonus round of Moss Guest celebrity stuff.
What was the guy? We watched something last night. We watched part of Short Circuit.
Oh,
which was a Steve Guttenberg?
Yeah, that's his name, but you don't know who he is.
I thought I did.
You did not think you did.
He kind of looks like Rick Moranis crossed with the guy, like the clown from Big Top Burger.
Are you talking about the guy who's actually Steve Gutenberg or
Yeah.
the scientist guy that you thought was Steve Gutenberg?
Now, that's hard because isn't Steve Gutenberg also a scientist guy in the movie?
He is
Short
a
Circuit?
scientist guy, but you first said that's Steve Gutenberg to a guy who looked like Rick Moranis crossed with
Martin.
Steve Martin. But you're talking about actual Steve Gutenberg now.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, he does kind of look like that.
So you should have known that's what I was talking about.
How would both of these men have? There are two people that we've said they look like, and one of them is crossing over. There's a Venn diagram where one of them is the same.
Yeah, that's Rick Moranis is right there in the middle.
Yeah.
Kind of got like a Play-Doh vibe.
But anyway, the answer to the question is get your crooners, get your big band and swing. Get a little bit of Glenn Miller in the mood. Fuck, Glenn Miller in the mood is in my hype up club playlist, and if you cannot get it going to that, then I can't help you. These ghosts aren't cool.
One of my favorite things about you, Bug, is how legitimately in love with Glenn Miller's In the Mood you are.
That's the music that is. Here's a question for everybody. That's the hold music in my head.
Oh my God.
That is if I'm genuinely not thinking about anything, which is rare, happens about 2 times a year. But if I'm genuinely just vibing in my own head, it is Glenn Miller's In the Mood.
Anyway.
We're going to get copyright claim because that was so good.
Yeah, it's so fucking good. All right, it is 7:32 on the Bug and Moss morning telephone show. I'm going to share something with y'all. I was going to try and play a bumper for this. I don't really know which one I'm going to play.
While
for
you
this.
look at that, I have one more piece of advice for Az.
Oh, okay. Go ahead and give Az that advice.
I think you should set up a website where people can recommend songs for you to play for the ghosts.
Oh, that's a cool idea.
Or you should just like put it on Blue Sky or something because I think people would fuck with that.
A playlist for ghosts.
If you need help, I guess like we could probably try to set it up because I think we should get a playlist going.
Like instead of like Spotify, it'd be called like Rodify, and it's you put in the age of your house.
You're so offensive. The things that you are saying about the recently deceased, the uncorporeal, as I saw in chat, you are just rude, man.
Instead of fucking fine.
The
man.
next thing you're going to say is going to be a ghost slur.
No,
and I don't want to hear it.
I don't want to go into that. How about this?
Not sure if it was obvious by his current demeanor, but Moss stayed up last night watching silly videos on YouTube and learned too much. His words, not mine. It's Moss in general.
So I didn't necessarily learn too much this time, but on today's Moss in General, I wanted to share with you something that I have discovered that makes me quite happy. And maybe you already know about this, but let me just run over here real quick. Oh, did you hear that sound? That was me running. Oh no, look. What was that? Did you hear that? Hey, recognize that sound, Bug? What about this? That's a classic. Or maybe, ooh, what was that? Something just poked me. Oh, and it boinged again. Guess what I found?
Did you find some sounds?
I found the Hanna-Barbera cartoon sound effects library available for free on the Internet Archive. And it appears to be, what is it, like 60, 80, 96, 100, just about 100 tracks. About 100 tracks of classic Hanna-Barbera sound effects available in M3U, MP3, OGG, I think M3. No, it's just an MP3 and WAV and FLAC, I think. I'm going to put a link to it in the show notes. And as Colin has just pointed out in the chat, there's no way that's not copyrighted. That's what I thought, too. Mm-hmm. And there's loads of pirated shit up on the Internet Archive, to be sure. But there's sort of a lot of fuzziness around sound effects. There's sort of a long and weird and storied history, particularly in this era of sound effect people who would do the synchronization, just kind of taking libraries from place to place and using them all over the place. And I think copyright law gets weird around sound effects in general, but also I was trying to track this down too, because I was like, am I going to steal all of these and use them? The answer is probably yes.
Yeah.
Anyway, I want to verify this claim, but I was having trouble finding a definitive source for it. So this is as much a sharing of a resource as it is a call for help in research. That Hanna-Barbera released these cartoon sound effects as a larger pack that you can purchase from soundideas.com for $250. Normally $500. It's on sale
This is
right
also
now.
a great deal. That is
a great deal.
That is over 2,000 sound effects.
So here's the thing. The paid one from Sound Ideas is 2,243 sound effects. That is a far cry from 100 sound effects that have probably 30% of them are like these terrible little voice sketches that nobody wants.
Well, and also I think that's most likely to get copyright claimed, right? Like that's pretty distinct.
Well, even beyond that, I feel like it's mostly filler because at the time this came out, it was probably more of a novelty.
Oh, it was. They recommend that you use it for your answering machine.
Yeah, it does say 100 cartoon sound effects for your home videos, computers, parties, and more, plus special occasion greetings and answering machine messages by your favorite characters. So there is that. What I saw that was scuttlebutt that I want help finding out if is a true claim is that Hanna-Barbera released this pack into the public domain or into, just free use or something, because it does say it's attribution 4.0 on here, but anyone could have put that.
Yeah.
I want to find the original source and why there is this small fractured collection that seems to be broken off. Because if this was indeed just released for free, and certainly you hear a lot of these sound effects in people's podcasts and YouTube videos and stuff, but most of the time that's just people not really caring about copyright.
Yeah.
I want to know what the scoop is with that, because big if true, a lot of these are incredible and iconic, and a lot of these really just like live in my brain rent free. I'm going to try and like that one, or bang, or bing, or blip, or bite, or bloop, or my favorite one, which is the double takes, which has the sound that lives in my brain, and I need to know what it is. It's the very first sound that plays right here. What is that? What is that? Listen carefully. Whatever that is, that sound I want all the time.
It sounds like an animal call. It kind of sounds like it, but it's been sped down or slowed down or sped up. Also, if at any point, and I'm not saying we do, but if at any point we really want answers on this, I will use my incredible talents as a customer service white lady, and I will get in contact with Hanna-Barbera.
Yeah, do it. You should. I want to know, because I want to use all of these in our Bug and Moss stuff.
But you know that once I do that, and if they say no, which they probably will, you can't.
Yeah.
Okay. But I will contact them and reach out. I'm really curious. Also, I mean, it stands to reason that we could, when we're not as worried about paying our rent in a little bit, probably get the sound effect library, because we would use it and it's a great deal.
Yeah, the over 2,000 of them.
Yeah.
The question is how many of them are stupid, like messages like this.
Oh, Fred Flintstone here. Oh, it's no fun to be sick. I ought to know. I've got dinopox and a head cold.
These are weak, man.
Yeah, that is weak. However, that was specifically, obviously, a consumer release. And I will say that the big sound effect pack that you can buy has also been remastered.
That's pretty cool.
That's a lot of work to put into that.
$248 is really not bad. That's on sale right now. I think it said it was an NAB sale, but I'm sure it goes on sale.
I mean, honestly,
all the time.
$500 isn't bad for that many sound effects that you have a lifetime use for.
N Squared said, I can see that sound effects weren't copyrighted until 1972. That's right. I remember seeing that as well. And also, it's weird, right? Because if you were to just take a sound effect and distribute it, that's a very different thing than blending it into a scene. And more often than not, you are layering a lot of sounds. Like even most of those sounds are designed and layered sounds of like multiple things on top.
It would absolutely, what I do not think you would get away with at all is trying to collect these free sounds and sell them.
Yeah,
that is absolutely not okay.
But it would be a lot harder to pick up if you used them and integrated them.
Well, and
into
also,
something.
if we're talking about things that weren't copywritten before that era, that'd be exactly the reason that you would remaster the sound effects for a pack. Because then you would, I think, be able to be like, if we see these sound effects, these are the ones that have been remastered and copywritten under the Hanna-Barbera name. But if you have an old album that you bought that has these on it, and then you get the things off of it, and then you put them up, yeah, that's gray area. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, well, because it's not the idea, it is the production. It is the item, right?
It is that specific release.
It's like Happy Birthday as a song is not copyrighted. You can sing Happy Birthday however you want, but if I recorded a version of it and put it out there, I could copyright it because that recorded production would be my original work in some manner. So I think copyright law is a fucking sham from the jump.
we're not fans of it, but we do respect
it doesn't help artists.
people's art and getting credit for the things that they make.
Yeah, that's not what copyright does.
No, it's not. Hey, guess what? It's not.
Copyright protects the interests of big capital entities like Disney and those fuckers. This absolutely does not help us.
Just if you need...
You think you're going to win in court? You think you're going to win in court if someone steals your show?
Yeah, if you need anything to help you realize that copyright isn't for you, I need you to just think for a second about how copyright keeps changing the older Mickey Mouse gets.
Well, he's in the public domain now. Did you see that? This brewing company made a beer called Public Domain.
Yeah, I saw that it finally happened, but it took a while.
Yeah, a lot longer than it was supposed to. My neighbor Michael says, I'm going to write an episode of Billings just to use those sound effects. I love that. Huge support, obviously.
Hell yeah.
I think that's a great endeavor.
Also, one last thing on copyright. If you want to get really mad about it, just remember that all of those dog shit superhero movies that you paid a lot of money for and didn't like, that weren't good and didn't have good production, were just so they could hold the rights to the character. The character they don't even want to make movies about.
Cool.
So that's cool.
Yeah. Neat.
Anyway, do you want to talk about some other stuff?
Let's talk about some other stuff. And also in chat, everyone is saying it's specifically Steamboat Willie Mickey.
Yeah.
That's the one that has lapsed at this point. The Steamboat Willie
not Mickey Mouse.
Not Mickey Mouse in general as a concept. Yeah. What you got, Bug?
All right. Do you want my advice, or do you want to take a break with advice before we get into the wishes?
Oh, maybe that's a good idea.
How about a healthy dose of advice from Bug?
I saw in the chat yesterday, I think Colin said, can I get some advice regarding snoozing the alarm in the morning?
Ooh, I missed that.
Yeah, I bet you did. Glazed right over it.
So I think your advice is to just set it to 10 minutes and every 10 minutes you hit it again, right?
So I know nobody's going to like it. And that's the thing about advice that's probably like right. I mean, there's no right? Like it's what works for you. But listen, you shouldn't snooze.
Why?
It's really bad for your sleep health.
But it feels good.
Yeah, and I can tell you why if you want to know. I used to be a snoozer. Actually, I mean, I used to be a set 19 alarmser. And that's a form of snoozing that's sort of more hellish and regimented, as though I was some kind of like army general trying to punish myself. I was like sleep torturing myself. Here's the deal. When you snooze your alarm and you tell yourself, just gonna go back to sleep, I'm just gonna get a little bit more sleep, you're not getting a little bit more sleep. You're not getting any sleep. This is like the myth that you can catch up on sleep. That tiny increment that you fall back asleep is not good for you.
It feels good.
Yeah, but you know what it also feels like?
What?
It feels like you're more tired. It's harder to wake up. It's kind of like you're gaslighting your brain about what's happening.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
I don't like it. I feel worse after.
Yeah.
But in the moment, Bug, it feels so seductively good.
Well,
Oh, it feels tempting. It's like if someone put a glass of wine and a steak in front of you after you were so hungry and also wine thirsty.
I mean, it's kind of like if someone created a way for you to eat a steak in virtual reality and it tasted like a steak and it was perfectly cooked exactly the way you like and you didn't have to pay any money for it, but you were still hungry.
And in actual reality, someone was punching you in the tummy the whole time.
Yeah. So
there's definitely multiple times I can think of where I have woken up way too early at like a 4:30 or a 4:47 in the morning and then been fully awake and ready to face the day, but said, fuck that, it's 4:47. I want another 45 minutes of sleep. I want to, and then go back to sleep with snooze, and then I wake up feeling dead.
Well,
so it is a trap.
It is a trap, but that's actually not what I'm talking about.
Also, I don't know what the fuck is wrong with YouTube. So if you're watching over there and we just can't see what you say, I'm really sorry. We sent a message to the YouTube chat first at like 6 this morning, and it keeps showing up in chat on screen. It's showed up like 3 times. It's fucking weird.
We need to figure it out.
Yeah. Sorry.
So,
anyway.
My actual advice is that if you feel like you need to be, like you're compelled to snooze and you need that little treat in the morning, my recommendation would be to set no more than 3 alarms. And my recommendation would be that the first alarm goes off at least 30 minutes before you plan on actually waking up.
30 minutes before you plan on waking up?
Because then...
So then you're going to snooze for 30 minutes.
Well, but then you're snoozing for 30 minutes, which is a substantial amount of time. I think actually for your brain, it's supposed to be like 20. There's sleep health things you can look into.
Yeah,
but
there's one thing I do know, and it's that 30 minutes is an incredibly suboptimal amount of time to be
30
asleep.
minutes is a suboptimal nap because of the falling asleep time. So if you're...
You need 90 minutes.
You
Minimum.
think that there's...
Remember we did that whole thing, you and I, and we even like got this app that like set your alarm on 90-minute increments.
I feel like that was good. We should try that again.
Yeah, because like it was something about the averages of how long it takes you to go through certain cycles of sleep.
We're not talking about those ads that are like, all of them are like, I learned that 5:30 was my perfect wake up time, and that 2 p.m. was my perfect go to sleep time because I used this app that cost me $40 a day.
I've never been more happy since I found my perfect wake up.
Yeah.
What's your perfect morning routine?
Morning routine. I'm not sure about the exact increments on it, but what I am trying to say is that if you want to snooze, figure out what that interval is and what works for you. And give yourself a chunk, wake up and then go to sleep for a chunk of time.
So instead of a delicate light snooze, you say you should sleep for a chunk.
Yeah. And I think it is like 90 minutes. And when I say that, I'm like, I think actually, let's just go back to bidding. I don't think you should be snoozing. I don't think you should be snoozing.
Chat seems to think I just did a Stewie Griffin impression, which was not my intention.
It did kind of sound.
Did it sound like Stewie Griffin?
Yeah, at the very end.
I've never tried to do Stewie, I don't think.
I had a dream about Family Guy last night.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy.
You know what I think of when I think of Family Guy?
How cute, what's his face is? Seth MacFarlane? Yeah.
No, I think about Leonard.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think Leonard is the person who introduced me to Family Guy.
Hell yeah, dude.
Coyote Astronaut says, I have a series of alarms that aren't getting used because telephone show. Hell yeah.
Always good advice. Bug and Moss Morning Telephone Show is a great way to wake up in the morning.
Way to wake up in the morning. Which we should mention, you should tell some friends about it because it is Make or Break May. It is 5/21/2026. And May sure do look like it be breaking.
Yeah.
we're
going to figure it out, but we would love it if you would tell some people about the show.
That would be cool. It obviously is not the solution to everything in the world, but it would be awesome if you see a friend today, you see someone outside, if you walk by someone outside, wow, we've just received the biggest spam message I've ever seen in my entire life.
It's awesome. Can I do it?
Holy shit. Yeah. Okay, bit of a twist and a change here, Bug. You want to do like a dramatic reading or something?
What about a cute and sweet little check-in with chat?
Colin deleted it.
That's so fair.
Oh, Colin moderated it, which I appreciate as a moderator, but we were going to do a dramatic reading of that.
I don't need it. I can do it without it.
Give me a recreation, Bug. What's the kind of spam we just got exposed to?
Yo, bro. Colin hooked us up. Here we go.
Shit,
wow,
dude.
Jesus. Colin has the receipts. Yo, bro, I just wanted to show some real love for your stream because you've genuinely got like crazy potential. And I love to connect you with a top Twitch streamer who pulls thousands of live viewers and has over 3 million followers. He actually helps smaller creators grow the right way with real followers, active chat, loyal supporters who sub, gift, and donate. If you're interested, you should join me at my church. There is a raffle, and I'm trying to bring as many people as possible, and I really need to make that quota. So if you could come, the pastor's really mad at me, and I'd really like your help.
I don't think it has that energy, Bug. I think this is a straight up scam. I don't think this guy wants us to go to church. I think he wants my personal...
You don't think people who take you to church for a quota are scamming you?
No, this guy wants me to add someone on Discord and tell him Mirabelle sent us. That's fucking bonkers.
Yeah.
It says add this person on Discord. Tell him Mirabelle sent you.
Do you think he means Mirabelle from like Encanto?
Enchanto? I don't know, man. That's bonkers.
But this could be the push our stream needs.
Yeah, this could be the push our stream needs.
This guy has the energy of this guy I used to work with at Backyard Burger called Young Lava, who he was like, I don't know, 12, but I worked there when I was 16, and I think he was younger than me, but he was like definitely a gangbanger, and he would always like come out of his car just like smoke billowing from his like smoke out weed break. Yeah. And his Instagram would be him with a stack of money staring at the camera like this, just like, and the caption would be like, if you call, I'll answer.
Holding money to his head.
Yeah.
That's great. What was his Young
Shout
Lava?
out Young Lava. What's up?
That's a great name.
Yeah, it's a good name.
Fuck yeah.
I hope you're doing good, kid.
I hope Mirabelle's doing okay. I saw another pinned message come in chat, but it was French Alexander who pinned the message that Colin sent. Thank you, Alex. Holy smokes. Okay, so I
have no idea what we were talking about. That completely derailed me.
Tell other people to listen to the morning telephone show. If you got buddies or friends or pals or people that you love, or you see someone outside and they look bored, ask them to listen to the
I don't know if that was great timing from that scammer, if they were like waiting. They were like, they mentioned plugs.
That's a real person, huge fan. They're like super shy. They worked up the nerve to like write this big long message and recommend us to like their big streamer friend who they're like not sure about. It was totally heartfelt, and we are assholes.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
And also, if that's the case, Mirabelle, drop us a DM. We'll do it off screen.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, Mirabelle, hit me up. We could talk about that Encanto stuff. So, Bug, there, yeah, I want to clip this bit probably for a short, so I'm going to give us a bumper.
Will this stick around and turn into a whole thing? Or will Bug and Moss forget it immediately? This is a generic segment.
This isn't something we're going to forget immediately. This is a conversation that we've been having in our household for years now. I insist that I am good at making wishes, and Bug has forbidden me from, if we ever encounter a genie, I'm not allowed to make any wishes. And I wanted to bring this to the court of public opinion because I think it's incredibly unfair. Bug says I'm not allowed to make wishes.
I never thought I'd be the kind of person who set ultimatums in my marriage. And then I met Mason, and I heard the kind of wishes he thought were okay to just say to any genie or magical being who was like, hey, I have some wishes for you. Speaking of scams,
it's not a scam. Okay, the thing, even in a perfect situation with a perfect genie, super nice, really chill genie with big hands, like, I'm not allowed to make the wishes because Bug thinks I'm going to screw it up.
Kind of genie that could pick me up, hold me. He's so strong.
Howdy Astronaut in chat has said Mr. Poopcord wants to make wishes, and I just wanted to say, shut up, Coyote. Here's the thing. I think I'm good at them. I think I would have good wishes. I think I'm so good at wishes that I think I figured out the ultimate wish.
Well,
the one secret true wish.
Before we get to the one secret true wish, the wish that genies don't want you to know about.
Genies hate him for this one simple trick. Genies and their big hands.
You asked me last night if I would set you up for a wish. So I want to do that.
Is that what I said?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I said, Bug, you're going to have to test me on air.
Okay, so I'm going to set you up for a wish.
Okay. So you're a genie.
Yeah, well, hang on.
Okay.
Let me set it up.
Sorry.
You walk into an alleyway, try to cut through. You're by yourself, so unlike when you're with me and you think everyone's out to get us, you're just like la-da-dying around areas you probably shouldn't be in. You walk into a dark alleyway, looks cool, let me check it out. You get all the way to the back, you come up on a wall. You realize the alley doesn't have an outlet. And you're like, oh, there's a storm grate that I could kind of wiggle into. I yearn for the mines. I'm in your head like, baby, don't crawl into that grate. And you're like, God, I don't know why. I really want to crawl into that grate.
I would. Yeah, probably want to.
Yeah, so you wiggle into the grate feet first. And it's bigger.
Feet first.
Okay, fine. You crawl in head first.
Yeah, dude, I'm not trying to die. I don't want nothing to grab my feet and pull me in. Grab me by the face if you're going to fuck with me, monsters.
Well, and that's exactly what happens. You go in head first. Genie type guy grabs you by the face. Big hands.
Big hands.
Big hands.
Big
and
hands.
he says, hey, cutie, you want to come make some wishes? And then he kisses you and he pulls you down.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And
Genie
he says, what's up, cute guy? You won the lottery. I'm here. I got all the magic. And you know the drill. You've heard it. 3 wishes. Actually, you know what? You're so cute. 4.
No way. 4 wishes?
Yeah.
Okay, fuck yeah. So this is the scenario?
Yeah. This is your scenario.
Okay, first wish, flashlight eyes. Because I came through the dark tunnel, so I need like a way to see on the way back out. That would be easy and great. Will you have a problem with that right away?
Do you want to tell everybody the 2 wishes that you made on my behalf last night?
Oh, that you would... I remember one of them was wishing that you had big real wings.
Yeah,
you could
actually,
fly.
there were 3. One was that I had big, real wings, and I could fly. These are curses that Mason casted on me last night.
No, I said I would wish for you to have big wings, maximum ride style.
Real wings. You know that's not a story about, oh, I'm so excited to have these wings. That's a story about genetically modifying human beings.
Yeah, it's also a story about a kid who's allergic to gum. It's about a lot of things.
Okay, and then do you remember the other wishes?
I think one of them was to turn you into a little felt doll and you could live in a jar and I could feed you pieces of felt, I think was one of them. That one's definitely more of a curse overtly. I will say, like, I get that one.
Do you know how he said it? He said, I want you to be a little felt doll, still alive. Still alive.
I didn't say that. But like a cute little doll. And then you could live in my pocket and we could walk around and people would talk to me and be like, excuse me, I got to ask my wife. And I'd open up my pocket and you'd be like, yeah. And you'd be like a little felt guy.
I know that we've talked about this a lot, but I have a tattoo that is legally distinct from a tramp stamp that says anything eternal as hell. Once, just casually, Mason was like, I wish you would live forever.
That could have been one of the wishes. And then, I realized that
by
you would hate
myself,
that.
first of all.
Hold on. So I've got my 3 wishes. I used one of them, flashlight eyes. That's not a problem.
How do you know?
Sorry. I should be clear about how I would wish for these because that's probably important.
That's hugely important.
I wish I had flashlight eyes is what I would say. I wish I had flashlight eyes. Boom. Can't fuck that up.
So you don't think there's any room for interpretation?
No.
First of all, you ever bought an electronic that you couldn't change the battery in?
Oh, yeah. I guess that's true. So you think my eyes would run out of battery real fast?
I think you didn't specify.
Yeah.
I think you didn't specify how they'd be powered, how they would work. Are you suddenly having flashlights?
I've got 3 more wishes. So if that was pointed out to me, I would wish to be able to poop out extension cords to power the flashlight. I feel like that's reasonable.
I immediately have some issues with you just acting like this is fine. First of all, you have admitted that if you pooped out extension cords, there wouldn't be plugs.
No, but then I would just go to the hardware store. I don't need to wish for those.
But you don't have those with you.
No.
So you're just shitting extension cords with your flashlight eyes that may or may not work. You know what else you didn't wish for?
I don't need them right now. I can prepare for them.
Hi. Are you paying attention to me?
I'm listening.
You did not specify that you would still like to be able to see.
Yeah, well, that's what I was going to say. Emily in chat says, wouldn't it be better to say, I wish I could see in the dark? No, because then I wouldn't be able to see in the light. If you give the genies details, they're going to fuck you. You gotta be open and give them room to play without screwing you too bad. So if I just said I want flashlight eyes, maybe, sure, you're right. There's a chance that maybe I won't be able to see.
You're really assuming. So I will give you one thing before we continue, which is that you're a really good judge of character. And I do think you're always assuming that the genie is cool. And I do think if you met the Jimmy, that's his name, Jimmy the genie.
Hell yeah, big hands.
And he wasn't cool, you would probably act differently, but I don't know because every time we talk about wishes, you just say stuff that is so scary.
Okay, I'll let me actually think it through. Besides the ultimate wish, which I do know and I'm pretty confident about, if there was a genie, I would wish for us and all the people we love to be in perfect health for the rest of their natural lives.
Oh.
Why is that a problem? What's bad with that? That one was good. I thought really carefully about that one. You didn't even give me a chance. I started saying 3 words and you were like,
Well, because the problem is that when I tell you your wishes are bad, what you do isn't make the wishes stronger. You raise the stakes and start playing with people's lives.
Everyone we love, perfect health for the rest of their natural life.
So,
well, their natural life ended so sooner.
I don't think that wish.
The astronaut says instantly dead.
Yeah, I don't think that wish establishes that their lifespan can't be altered.
No, but that's extra work for the genie.
That's such a weird assumption to make. So
you're getting on my case about being rude about dead people, and you're out here thinking genies are just trying to fuck everyone immediately. And what if the genie's just doing magic?
Hey, babe, listen. If something sounds too good to be true, it probably is.
Yeah.
Wishes are the epitome of too good to be true.
Wishes are something a genie gives you in exchange for the genie's freedom as a thank you. So what does the genie get from if I wish for, I don't know, let's say I wish I'd never had to be hungry again. That's another one I would think of.
That's another one, instantly dead.
Instantly dead?
Easiest way to deal with that, I don't even have to have magic for that. So I'm like, if you free me, I'll grant you some wishes. Guys, I never want to be hungry again. Great, shoot you with a gun.
That
never
sucks.
Hungry another day in your life.
That's not a genie then. That's just a guy with a gun.
Okay,
Stupid.
But also, the power imbalance is weird with a genie, right? Because you're talking about a being that's magic, but that is like you're controlling, which is so icky.
It's icky. But that's why it's like a trade. Like, I went into this sewer grate head first and found this genie with big hands. And then I fucking rescued this genie. And he's like, yo, on my way out. You even said, he was like, oh, you're so cool and cute. I'll give you 4 wishes. So my fault for assuming this genie doesn't want to just shoot me dead with a gun. He'll be like, oh, I wish I was happy. Bang, dead. Oh, I wish that all my friends were happy. Bang, all your friends are dead.
Do you want to, before the show is over, tell everybody your ultimate wish?
Yeah, we started at 7:01. We're going to 8:01. There's 1 minute and 14 seconds left in this episode. Throw your titles in the chat. I'm already seeing some good ones. None of this discourse matters because y'all are going to look like a bunch of fucking idiots in a second when I tell you the ultimate unfuckable, unfuckwithable, perfect wish. I wish for nothing to go wrong. Boom! Nuclear. Absolute. Mic drop. That's it. That wins. Right there. Right? What could go wrong? Nothing. That's the wish.
So there's some problems with that. I think we all know.
Okay. I don't think we all know.
First of all, you know how we talk about how the word better doesn't mean anything?
Nope. I've never had that conversation.
You've never heard that?
Better means better.
Better than what?
Something
Nothing
else.
can go wrong based on what? Baseline.
Like badly. Poor, like nothing can go badly.
Okay, but what does that mean?
It means that if I wish for my health, you can't shoot me with a gun.
Do you know what can happen if you wish that nothing goes wrong? The genie just puts you in a padded room.
That could happen, I guess, but I don't think that's what would happen. I think nothing would go wrong. I love you, Bug.
I love you, Moss.
This is Bug and Moss.
Bug knows where she is because she knows where she isn't. By skittering from where she isn't to where she was, she now is, and always will be. Daddy, on the other hand, likes to shit himself half to death and then hang on as dead weight, leaving us stranded on the air. We will return in a moment.